Aloha y'all. So I have so much to say about this topic, but I'm going to try to keep it short. My question is, why would you ever believe anything that NASA says? Because NASA, which was founded with the help of Nazi scientists, look up Project Paperclip. So when NASA came out with their so-called discovery of the 13th sign, which is based on the physical placement of the constellation in the sky, it fooled a lot of people and it threw a lot of people off because then they can discredit this ancient system. A lot of people started saying astrology is not real. NASA made up astronomy, which is following the science and the physical location of the planets and all this man-made knowledge, right? If you're only looking at the physical constellations in the sky, you're only regarding our physical earthly perspective, which if you look up the etymology of the word sky, it's actually a veil. As you can see, there's been a lot of plasma ship sightings and UFOs because in today's day and age, it's so easy to deceive people. And the line between what is real and fake is really this time in the spiritual war where we're training our discernment so we can really have our third eyes open to see what's really going on. And the truth is, it's only safe to open your third eye if you're ready to see the truth. So the Gregorian calendar is a lie because in the dead of winter, that is not the beginning of New Year. Really it's time to be hibernating within. It's a time to be tuning into our spirit and to slow down in the physical world and really to just plan out what we want to rebirth into the new year that's coming up. So this video is supposed to be about Ophiuchus, the 13th sign, and I know there's a lot of misconceptions and stuff that I hear people saying about it, which I'm gonna talk about. So contrary to popular belief, Ophiuchus is not a part of the 12 sign zodiac wheel. It's not part of the wheel at all. It's literally the 0 point, the center point of the astrological cycle, of the cosmic cycle, and it's literally what created the whole entire 12 signs. If you think about a black hole, the void is what creates everything that we see on the event horizon, which is the outside part of the torus, right? Basically, the 12 signs is the 12 disciples, and Ophiuchus is Christ, which is the spine. So Ophiuchus, the symbol of Ophiuchus is the serpent bearer. It's the only other sign aside from Aquarius that is a human. And that human is dealing with these two snakes, which represent the kundalini snakes, the masculine and the feminine. It also represents the DNA strand. So Ophiuchus is the person that is in control or has mastery over the two kundalini snakes, which are Ida and Pingala, in ancient yogic teachings according to the Hindus. So Ophiuchus, being Christ, is the spine, it's the vertebra, and the 12 cranial nerves represent the 12 zodiac signs in the body. 12 is basically the cycle that we need to break out of, that we need to gain mastery within. And when we gain mastery, as Ophiuchus does, of the two snakes, that's when we open the Sushumna channel, which is the pranic tube that runs from our perineum through our crown into our soul star, and it's what connects us to this infinite life force energy, this pranic energy, where you literally can be a breatharian if you wanted to. You just have to be at this yogic meditative state all the time to achieve it, right? So the solstice and the equinox mark 4 significant points on the astrological wheel in regards to the sun. And our sun that we see in the sky is actually a star. So when people say astrology isn't real, it's crazy to me because the sun is literally a star that affects all life forms on this planet. And if you can't see that, then I don't know what can help you. Aside from the fact, maybe you should stare at the sun because sun gazing is something that opens your third eye. 13 is 4. We have the 4 seasons, we have the 4 cardinal directions, and we have the 4 elements. Is literally what creates harmony in this reality. So 13 is 1 plus 3 is 4, which can also be written as 22, which are the equinoxes, right? And then 1 and 3 is the solstice. So if we want to talk about the physical placement of Ophiuchus, which is at the end of Scorpio season and the beginning of Sag season, it really tells us the energy signature of this totem, of this archetype. I think the biggest thing that people need to understand is that Ophiuchus is not a part of the 12 zodiac wheel. Ophiuchus is literally the Christ within. It's the 0 point. It's the center point. And when we realize that, the 12 signs is what we're supposed to master. It's the 12 disciples in order for us to awaken the highest potential within our DNA, which is Ophiuchus, the twin serpent bearer. So those of us who are in tune with the cosmic cycles know that the real new year is on the spring equinox. I just wanted to talk about the Gregorian calendar, which is fake and which was created recently, in comparison to the wisdom of nature. So on a turtle's back, we have the 28-day moon cycle along with the 13-month year, right? This is the natural phase that follows the rhythms of nature. The fact that the moon moves about 13 degrees every day represents what 13 is. So 13 is the divine feminine essence of creation. It's the void. It's darkness. It's the black hole that created everything in our physical reality. Instead of this artificial man-made calendar, which was made by the Romans to keep people's consciousness trapped at a lower level to where they always stay below the 13, right? So Ophiuchus is the 13th sign. This is why Ophiuchus is not a part of the whole wheel. The wheel is the wheel of karma, and it's what we're supposed to master. The 12 disciples is the 12 signs, is what we're supposed to master in order to reach the 13, which is the Christ level of consciousness. So think about how everything ends at 12. The clock ends at 12, grades end at 12, and the months end at 12. Why do you think? So think about how the Mayan calendar ends at 12/21. Why do you think? Because 12 is 3, because 1 plus 2 is 3, and then 13 is 4, because 1 plus 3 is 4. 13 is 4, which is the balance, right? The divine balance is 22. And 13 is the feminine version of 22. Why is 4 significant? So there's the 4 elements of ether. In order for anything to physically manifest, there has to be 4 cardinal directions. There has to be 4 elements. 4 is stability. 4 is physical form. So 33 is the number of Christ. It's also the number of vertebra that we have in the spine. Always pay attention to numerology, because the people who control the simulation know all about it, and if you don't, and if you're not paying attention to the signs, like, it's being used against you. If we honor the cycles of nature, we understand that there are 14 days of coming into the light of the fruition from the new moon into the full moon, right? And then there's also 14 days of the waning phase, where we're going from the full moon into the new moon. When we can understand that we're not supposed to freaking work a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and to get up every single day to give our energy to the matrix, we realize how real the matrix is. And I actually recently rewatched The Matrix with my family on Christmas, and it was really interesting because there was one scene at the very end that I forgot.
When Neo is trying to get out of the Matrix by picking up the phone, and it's in room 303, and he goes into room 303, and I remember the first thing I noticed is like, oh, 33 is Christ. And he goes into the room. As soon as he opens the door, Agent Smith shoots him like 6 times, right? And he dies, but then he gets resurrected by love, which Trinity brought to him. So Trinity resurrected this love within him, and that's what allowed him to come back from the dead. It's literally in that movie, which is crazy.
Well, it's not crazy because they put the truth in movies.
I just want to say that this is not something that I read somewhere. This is literally from my own connection with source. It's something that I've sat with for a long time and come to realize as a truth within myself through my crown chakra. Sometimes when people ask me, like, how do you know? I just know. I don't know how to explain it aside from the fact that you sit and meditate with yourself long enough and you just receive the answers. So I'm not saying that this is absolute, but this is what I've come to realize in this reality. So if you think about shifting timelines and how that works, it really ties back to the breath and the vagus nerve, which is the longest nerve in the body, right? And it connects our spine to all these sensory outputs. Our spine is our connection from heaven to earth. So the story of Jacob's ladder, about the 33 vertebra, about the 33 steps it takes to get to heaven in the body, in human form, something that is not outside of us, something that is within us. That's basically what yoga teaches us, and that's something that I want to talk more about. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace. I'll see you next time.